Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. I'm Katie from Mitza Creek Farm, and we are having a heat wave. Feels like spring. It's supposed to be almost 50 today, which is going to be record-breaking temps for our area. We normally, last year at this time, we had feet of snow. We were struggling to keep up with all snow things, and this year we have like nothing. We've had snow twice that has stuck, but within a couple of days it's always melted. So today is Thursday, and so that means I'm open down at the stone coop. I have to run into town really quick and do errands, and then I am going to come back to open it. I had to get my overalls out of the car first, but I am thinking it's going to be slow today because we're sold out of trees. And so I am going to be working on projects outside since it is so nice in between customers. All right, I'm back from town. I have everything open. I know that it's not going to be super busy today just because we have these two trees left and we have two sparse trees over there. So I did my errands in town. I took my time, and now I'm coming back and I got to get this all set up so it looks nice. And then I got to get T-posts out of the ground and move those sparse trees from over there to up here. We got that done. It's looking a lot nicer. And I was able to get some of the T-posts up. There's two left right next to each post. I was not able to get those up because they're in so far. So since they're right next to the posts, they should be fine for the winter. They're not going to get in the way of plowing or anything like that. So thankfully that is done. I can tell you it feels good to be cleaning up from Christmas stuff before Christmas. Sounds crazy to say, but realistically, this all would have been frozen in the ground and I would have had to deal with it in the spring. So this is giving me like one step closer in the spring to being able to plant. So I am happily getting that done. Next up is moving the fire pit to down there. I have to move the fire pit in the blocks, and I got to move all these stumps again. So those are hard. Most of them are pretty heavy. Some of them are not, but that is a process in itself. So I'm just going to start by moving the fire pit and the blocks, and then that way at least that's done. And if I have enough energy, then I'll move the stumps for sitting. Because we close at 4 tonight, we're not actually having a campfire today, so that isn't urgent. But since it's so nice outside, I want to do it now instead of waiting tomorrow. It's supposed to be like a high of like 42-ish, so I want to get this done now since it's almost 50 outside. It is windy, but that's okay. The sun feels amazing. I can also put these sleds away because we're not going to need them for Christmas tree season since we're sold out, and this is the maximum amount of snow we've had. doing, silly kitty? There we go, got that done. So that is ready for the campfire tomorrow night. Next up on the list is making greenery bundles because we are out. So that's gonna be the next big project so that we can get stocked up for the weekend. I'm finding that it's easier if I start laying all the boughs down by variety and then just keep adding on to each pile. So these are all Fraser boughs right here. I have 7 piles. And then I'm gonna add on all the different varieties on top of that. Those provide a really nice strong back for the bundle. But what I just realized is I am out of white pine and red pine, so I need to go harvest more. I am searching for my good clippers though. Actually, these are my good clippers, my good pruners. They're for vegetable picking, but the kids were making some baskets and stuff, and I don't know where my big ones are, so I'm down to these little guys. So hopefully I'll be able to get some decent size white pine and red pine. When I'm out here harvesting, I like to find a variety of old and young white and red pine. Young white pine are a little more wispy, where the older white pine are more full. And so they both give different looks to your planter. And then the same for the red pine. So this is a young red pine. You can see that the whole thing is kind of covered and it's really nice and full. Let me find an older red pine that I can show you. It's more bare, but the ends are really nice and big and really make a different statement and give a different look in each pot. So I like to include a variety of that kind of stuff in every bundle. I don't want to venture too far away from the stone coop, so I'm just going to stop here. But this is a row of mature red pine, and this is what a mature red pine branch looks like. And so you can see the needles are really big and they're very fluffy, but there's less needles on the branches. If you look, you can see that there's not nearly as many needles on there as there are on the young ones. So comparing, this is what the young one looks like next to the old one. So the old one has less stuff on the bottom and the needles are a lot longer. And lots of times they'll also have pine cones. You can see almost every cluster has pine cones on it. And as I'm looking up, this is high off the ground, but as I'm looking up, they all have little pine cones. So if I can reach them, I will happily harvest some of those as well. So once I get that bundled, then I just bring it right over here and I hang it here on this post. I have found that people would much rather have a big old bundle that is kind of crazy and wild than something that is like neatly folded up like I was doing at the beginning of the season. They want to be able to see how big the branches are, and I think that they feel like they're getting more, even though we are putting the same amount of branches in each one. I don't care about them getting snagged or all the stuff I was worried about at the beginning of the season. So that's a mixed greenery bundle, and that's a balsam bundle. So I'm gonna finish doing the rest of them over there and get them all hung up here. Well, in an interesting turn of events, the last customers of the day ended up coming and buying all but one of those bundles. So it looks like I will be working on that first thing in the morning. But it is getting late and I have to go to Beck's basketball game. So that is it for today's video. Thanks for tuning in and I will see you guys next time.